Hey y'all, it's Lauren. This week I'm talking about friendship, style, and the Oscars. This is the Chicks and Dip podcast. What's up, y'all? It's Lauren back with another episode of the Chicks and Dip podcast. Welcome back, you guys. I'm so excited y'all are here. I am rolling with a solo episode today. It's been a while. I think the last solo episode I did was, kicking off season 2? Was it kicking off season 2? I think so. I don't know. I know it's been like a couple weeks. So I'm really excited. I don't really have like a topic necessarily today. I'm going to try to just see where this conversation with myself takes us. But I did, I asked you guys, I put up an Instagram story a couple days ago and I just said like, hey y'all, like I want to chat with y'all. And so I said, what's stressing you out? What's bringing you joy? What's on your mind? What are you talking about over your chips and dip? Thank you so much to Neutral for supporting the show. This episode is, again, as usual, brought to you by Neutral. Today on the set, I've got classic cranberry, and I have got cranberry apple. I went with the red cans because it seems like, like the Valentine's Day vibe. But they're great. I really can't wait until Valentine's Day tonight to grab a Neutral. I always say that it's like the perfect light drink, and if I'm going to be dancing around, like, I don't really want to be drinking, I don't know, like... What is that? What's the drink that is like a milkshake? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Oh, shoot. There's no one in the studio to answer this for me. Mudslide? No. Shit, what is it called? Okay, I'm going to think of it in like 20 minutes and somebody out there, somebody's in their car listening to this right now, like screaming the answer. Damn, I can't even think of it. But you know what I'm talking about? It's like a little milkshake, but it's like super alcoholic and delicious. Great, but that's not what I want whenever I'm drinking and dancing with my girlfriends. I need something light that's not going to make me want to throw up and die. And that drink is neutral for me. I can drink neutral all night. I can jump around. I can, go out on the beach, whatever, with a neutral in hand. So as usual, thank you so much for supporting this podcast. Neutral. Do y'all hear my freaking voice? Like, I haven't been sick. I was sick like a month and a half ago. Got better. And then like yesterday, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I need Advil. Like my throat was on fire. And then I walked outside and my black car is yellow. It's covered in pollen. There's something, I've never had allergies before, but I think that's what this is. Allergies are getting me. That's never happened to me before. But there's just yellow dust on everything and it's like not cute. Like, oh, here we go. Fun fact about me, you guys. I hate pastel colors. Easter, the holiday, the Jesus of it all. Great. Probably top 2, maybe Christmas and Easter if we're looking at only the Jesus of it all. But the decor that comes with Easter, I absolutely despise. Just a bunch of pastel colors all on one outfit, like pastel yellow, pastel blue, pastel purple, pastel pink, and white. Kill me. I hate pastels. So the pollen is really like cramping my like view of the world right now. Everything's pastel yellow. It's giving Easter. It's horrible. I don't even know why I hate the colors so much. I just think that they're ugly and I don't think that they look good on me. Like I know that, I self-tan, but even with the self-tanner on, like I'm a pale girl and my hair is like almost white. So I think maybe I just don't look good in pastel colors because I just turn into like a nice like cream piece of paper color, like a not manila envelope. Those other ones next to the manila envelopes at the post office, those big paper envelopes that are like white with like the little spot that you put the address on. That's just what I look like in pastels. Like I'm just like white walls, your rental color walls, it's just white cream, just blur. And so I think maybe I don't like pastels because they don't like me. And whatever, I guess it's not the pastel's fault, but ugh, awful. Somebody asked, I love this question actually. How have you curated such a fun and colorful style? I'm always obsessed with your fits. Number 1, thank you so much. And I'm wearing a pretty fun outfit today for that question to be asked, like a literally like neon yellow top and like giant zebra pants and purple socks. I don't know if y'all can see my socks on the video, but I'm wearing little purple socks that have weenie dogs on them too, just for, like a touch of weirdness to this fit. But no, my style, I think, is something, I mean, I've talked about it often, but like it's something that I've curated and like worked on like literally for like 10 years. I think, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole story with the jumpsuit, iconic. But I started working at Free People whenever I was like 15, 16, and that like really kind of kickstarted it. They have, the Free People style, I think a lot of people think of like, oh, it's like so boho, and like it is, but I don't think that my personal style is boho, but half of my closet is Free People. Like they have pieces that are not so like hippie-ish vibes, and so I think just working there, like I was exposed to a lot of different styles. I don't know, I try to buy pieces that I think are gonna last me a long time, and I think that's called like a capsule wardrobe or something, but like mine is not limited to like 10 items. Like, let's be clear, I max out all of these pieces. I have way too many clothes. So like I'm not saying, narrow it down and only get the basics. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you're gonna buy something, like buy something that you think you're gonna want to wear next summer. And I've fallen victim to trends, and that's something that I really try to avoid. Like for me, I want pieces that I'm not gonna see, this sounds so bratty, but like I hate to see 5 girls out on a night out all wearing the same outfit as me. Like that makes me want to go home and burn the outfit. It's like something bad about me. Like if I see a few girls, this is mean, but if I see a few girls who I think are kind of basic wearing these shoes, suddenly I don't want the shoes. I hate them, even if I loved them 5 minutes ago. Like, and so I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's like a subconscious me trying to build a wardrobe that's unique to me thing. I have no idea. But if something is overly trendy, I don't buy it, even if I want it in that moment. Like I do want it in the moment, trust me there. But I try to like pull back and be like, okay, is this a trend? And I don't like waste my time on it. There's a rule. I don't remember who posted about it. I think maybe I saw it on TikTok and it was a stylist. But she said that whenever you go shopping, like try to think about your personal style and try to come up with 3 words for it. So like, if one person, their style may be girly, floral, and I don't know, roughly. I don't know. It could literally be anything, or it could be like edgy, masculine, and neutral, like that's a different closet than the girly floral one. I think that to build my closet, I use the words bold. Sometimes I use the word quirky. Not all the time. You can't have too quirky of a closet because then your outfits will just be like costumes. But like bold, quirky / creative, colorful, classic, I think are things that I go with. But whenever I say classic, I don't mean like white button up Kate Middleton classic. That's classic for her. I mean classic in the way of what I said earlier, like I would want to keep wearing these clothes 2-3 years down the line. So, like these pants, I would not the average person on the street probably wouldn't say that these pants are classic in the sense of like, 50 years from now people will want to wear these, but like these pants to me are classic in the sense that they go with other basics in my closet, like the neon yellow top that I have on. I also have a pink top like this that will go with the little pink in the pant. And I love the style so much, and I've never seen them on other people. So for my closet, these are classic. If I need a go-to outfit, these pants I love every time. And they're colorful, and they're bold, and they're definitely quirky. So I try, I don't use that method every time I shop, but that was something that I saw on social media that I actually thought was really cool. So I would advise, like, if you're trying to build a closet that's like uniquely you, and curate it to be so you, to where you love everything in your closet, like think of some adjectives, like pull out your favorite pieces, like build your 3 favorite outfits, things that every time you wear it, you don't even question your outfit. It's just something that you love it all together. Pull those 3 out and then try to come up with 3 adjectives. Like be like, okay, what is in common with all of these things? It can be literally anything. I don't know. I mean, my closet kind of ebbs and flows. It changes. And, depending on my mood, like one day I'll wake up and I'm like, I want to be a bad bitch today. So I'll wear like a big old blazer and my hair in like a slick ponytail. And then other days, I curl my hair and I want to wear a mini dress. But like I think it all kind of goes together because there's either the element of color or there's the element of weirdness. Like if I'm going to wear a mini dress, I'm probably not going to wear a kitten heel with it. I'm probably going to wear a big chunky boot to add that little bit of edge, So I don't know. I always try to look at an outfit and think, how can I make this more me and less basic? And sometimes it works. And frankly, sometimes it doesn't. And I've made closet mistakes. Sometimes I've bought pieces that I really, really had high hopes for, and I get them home and they just kind of sit there and I'm like, shit, like I really thought that I was going to like do something with this jacket or these shorts. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And you know what? You have to gift them to somebody else. And that's that on that. But I don't know. I haven't had much luck. I've gone through, again, everybody makes fashion mistakes, but I've gone through phases where like if I watch a lot of the Kardashians, then, I want to start dressing like Kim or like whoever. And I have kind of, as I've gotten better at dressing myself, like I've learned how to pull inspiration, like I don't have to. Y'all remember my Skims? My Skims from a couple episodes ago? That was me trying to be like Kim K. I was like, I can wear the Skims. I can't wear the Skims. Instead, what I needed to do was buy the Skims, just the bodysuit, and do it with jeans and a weird shoe. That's more my version of Kim K and her Skims. I'm not going to be from the neck to the toe, skin tight, and not feel like a space alien. Like I admire her for doing that, but I've got to take that and make it my own. With my 3 adjectives, I'm going to take the Skims and I'm going to make them more bold or more quirky or whatever. So that's like I think that's a good place to start. And also, y'all, the power in a closet refresh. Oh my God. Like it's an undertaking. I get it. I do it probably once a year, once every 6 months, like depending on how much I've been shopping. But like to truly touch every single piece of clothing that you own and decide, does it bring you joy? Isn't that Marie Kondo that does that? Does it spark joy? If not, throw it away. It's a hard thing to do with your clothes, especially if you're like me and you love them. It is so hard. But y'all, it is worth it. There's nothing better than looking at a gorgeous, refreshed closet and you know that everything in there you want to wear. Oh God, it feels so good. It feels so good. Somebody else wrote in and asked if I could speak on self-care and a few examples of stress relief. And I could, but I have a therapist coming on soon. This is a little episode preview for you guys. I have a therapist coming on soon who is only going to talk about stress. I'm so excited. She's going to talk about, number one, what stress is. How do people deal with stress in an unhealthy way? I know I have a lot of unhealthy ways I deal with stress, whether it be snacking or having an extra cocktail or sleeping too much or, whatever. And then versus what are some healthy ways that we can try to deal with stress? For me, it's exercise, but I understand that is not everybody. Other people are like, that doesn't, make me feel any better. So I want to bring on an expert who can give healthy ways for us to manage stress and deal with stress. And also we can speak on like when to know if your stress is like a problem. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now I'll get more into this on the episode, but I actually had like medical situation. Like I had to go to a neurologist and get an MRI and everything. And it turned out to be just a really extreme amount of stress on me at the time. And like that shit is crazy, y'all. Like our bodies, stress will kill you. They always say it, stress will kill you. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the stress conversation yet because I do have a really great expert coming on. So I'm going to like put a pin in that, even though I like really want to talk about it. This is a great question. Somebody else asked, how do you choose your guests on the pod? I get asked this a lot. It's kind of a mix. So sometimes somebody will full on pitch themselves. And I welcome that. It's impossible for me to know every single potential great guest on this earth. So a lot of times people will send me a message and say like, hey, if you ever need a guest, I think I'm an expert on XYZ. Or, hey, if you ever need a podcast guest, I have a pretty crazy story. Here's a little bit about it. And so in that situation, I love that. Y'all come to me. That's making my job so easy. But from there, I don't immediately just say like, yeah, sure, be here, be at the studio at this day, at this time, here's the address. I like to be a little bit more responsible for you guys. And so I like to do kind of a pre-interview with people. I've really gotten into that in season 2. Every single guest that comes on, I get a coffee with them at minimum first. Just because, I'm still perfecting it, but it's hard to know how somebody is going to be, one, on camera and on a microphone. But they can also have the most compelling story, but they themselves might not be a great storyteller, or there might be somebody out there who's better, at speaking to an audience that isn't in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have to kind of feel people out and see how they're gonna, express their story or their expertise on whatever. Because the last thing I want is for you guys to call me, or send me a message and be like, hey, Lauren, like, this could have been a great conversation, but the guest was super nervous, or, I didn't understand what they were saying exactly. I want to make sure that everybody who comes on is like qualified, number one, but also like, engaging and excited for you guys. So I take them to coffee, and normally I just say like, hey, like, thanks so much for, submitting your idea. Tell me about it. And I just make sure that me and the guests have chemistry, because that makes a huge difference too. Like, if, I don't know, y'all can feel it. And whenever I jive with guests, like, imagine if I was like not jiving. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell. I don't want I don't know. I don't want y'all to watch it and like think that anything is awkward. So that's kind of how it works if somebody submits themselves. And then on the other side of that, for me to reach out to guests, it's kind of like broken down into 2 things. I have like a running list of topics, and most of that list are things that I want an expert in, like a doctor or a therapist or something like that. So I have this list of topics, and y'all literally, they like come to me in the middle of the night, or, like, I teased this on the Facebook. I was having a conversation with Cameron last weekend in the car about like a scary dream that I had about him. And I was like, what do you think that means? And we were like sitting there pinging off of each other, like what we thought our dream meant. And then I was like, wait, and I like an episode about dreams would be sick. Let me find a dream expert. And so like, that's a topic that's very specific. So now I am on like Google searching, dream therapist, Savannah, Georgia, or on Facebook asking, hey, does anybody know someone who can, actually interpret dreams and professionally speak on dreams? So sometimes it goes from the topic, and then other times I'll meet somebody out and about and they just are charismatic and compelling to me. That's how I met Danny, who talked about sperm donation. He and I just jived at the coffee shop that he works at, and then he eventually told me this insane story. So I was like, okay, you've got to come on for that. But like on Saturday night, I went to a comedy show, and one of the comics got off stage, and I was like, I think that you would really make my audience laugh. What's your name? And he and I had coffee actually right before I'm recording this. So, we did our pre-interview. It was great. And now I get to go home and plan out the episode for him to come on and talk to you guys for real. So it's like a little bit longer of a process. That's what I think that a lot of people think, like, I just call up all my friends and I'm like, who wants to come on today? And like, for me, I know there are plenty of people who wing their show like that, and that's great. But for me, I found that never like really works out. It works out way better for me if I sit down with someone and have like a loose game plan, so that whenever we come on here, I know how to steer the ship. It's booking guests. It's so much fun. And so, if you have an idea, even if you think it's dumb, like, send it to me. As long as, I always tell people, no matter the topic, like, this show is about being in your 20s and everything in life that comes with that. So like, no matter the topic, as long as we can relate it back to something useful for the 26-year-olds out here, whether it's giving you guys advice, whether it's teaching you something new, or whether it's just us making you laugh or having you say like, yo, I've been there before. That's all I care about. Like, we can make something work. So if you've got an idea, y'all send it to me. This question, I actually have like a hot answer for this. RP Knight, y'all know him. He writes in and says, the Oscars are coming up. Do you have any predictions? And I don't have any predictions because I'm looking at the list. Best Picture, of all of these movies, I have seen I've seen four of them that are nominated for Best Picture out of like 10. And I will give you my thoughts on them. Avatar, The Way of Water, absolutely loved it. It was gorgeous. It was so beautiful to look at. Does it deserve Best Picture? No. Elvis, I also don't think it deserves Best Picture, but Austin Butler definitely deserves Best Actor because, like, that was crazy. He was so good. The only other ones that I've seen, Top Gun Maverick, honestly, I think people are going to disagree because that movie was, like, not that deep, but I think that one should win. What united America more than Top Gun Maverick in the last year? Everybody went to see that movie, and everybody talked about it for, like, 2 weeks until all of their friends had gone to see it. Like, literally, before I saw it, every time I saw someone, they were like, have you seen Top Gun Maverick yet? And I was like, no. And then I went to see it. And then I was that person for like 3 weeks. Have you seen Top Gun Maverick? Have you seen Top Gun Maverick? Have you seen Top Gun Maverick? I went to see it twice in theaters. It was so good. And whatever, Tom Cruise is so hot. He's so hot. Oh my God. I have like a Miles Teller story that I'm not going to say on here. I'm going to tell you on the Patreon. So, here's an incentive. You know what? I need to just like, as I'm recording this, I need to launch this on Monday because I'm teasing it twice in an episode and like y'all have nowhere to go with it. So just, you know what? Check the socials. I'll announce it when it's time. But I do have a Miles Teller story with a little bit of tea that I'm going to tell you guys on there. The only other movie on this list that I have seen is Triangle of Sadness. If you've seen it, send me a message. Spoiler alert. Open your ears. I'm waving my hands around to get your attention if your video. Spoiler alert, I'm about to ruin this movie. I hated this movie so much. It started like the first half of it follows like this like model and like her also model boyfriend, and it's like them fighting about money, and it's like one of those films where like there's no music playing, but like the couple's like arguing like in a hotel room and at a restaurant, and like where there should be a little bit of music to like set the tone or let you know like are things about to go good or are they going worse, it's just complete silence and like you just hear these people like breathing. And so I love that shit. Surprisingly, I love movies like that. Like I love a coming of age movie, you know, movies that like really make you feel like uncomfortable, but like they take you on just a journey. Like here's like a snippet of somebody's life. Here's the journey they're going through. I love that shit. So I actually enjoyed like the first part of this movie. Y'all. Then it flashes to like this super rich person cruise. Okay. Like literally it's like the 1% of like, you know, the elite rich folks are all on this like boat together. And what's his face? Woody Harrelson. I think that's his name. Yeah. He's like the captain. I couldn't tell you what that part was. I couldn't tell you anything because there's I'm not being dramatic, y'all, 30-minute scene of people vomiting. I'm nauseous thinking about it. It is jarring. There's like a shot where they show like so they're seasick. That's what's happening. Like they're on this boat and like there's like a plate of oysters and they're all jiggling around. And then it's like this old lady and she just yaks all over them. And then from there's like 20 people for 20 minutes in this movie throwing up. And it's not the kind of throw up where like you see the person like drop their head into the trash can and you hear it. No, they are showing up close of these people's faces, throwing up. Like throw up is coming out of their mouth. It's disgusting. I was watching it and I was like, I am horrified. And it's like so disturbing that like you kind of start to laugh a little bit, you know, like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh my God, like how is this scene still going on? Haha. And then 20 minutes in, I'm like, no way. Like it was so gross. And then it switches like they all, you know, after they all throw up, they all go back to their hotel rooms and then it starts showing them all having diarrhea. Like I cannot make this up. It's the nastiest movie scene I have ever seen. And then there's a shipwreck. And then there's this whole thing with like, I don't know, like the model starts like trading pretzels for sex with this woman who was like the plumber on the boat or something. I don't know. Pretzels and sex. It's no, the whole thing, no. And like the whole point of the movie, I understood the message. The whole point of the movie was like shedding light on like, you know, like how big of a gap it is between like the 1% and like, you know, the staff of this boat, like the people who are running the show, like the cooks and the cleaners and all of that. And like, I get it. I understand. But that movie was fucking disgusting. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I wish I had never seen it. It keeps me up at night. And so I posted about this on my Instagram story. I was like, has anybody watched Triangle of Sadness? Because I need to talk about what the hell just happened. And I had somebody message me and she's like, yeah, like I understand why you didn't like it, but I worked in the service industry for so long, so I really got it. Like I got it. Good for you. Good for you. I worked a little bit in the service industry too. I got the message, but that doesn't take away from the fact that there was a 25-minute vomiting diarrhea scene. Ew, y'all. You can get any kind of message across without that. If this wins, y'all, I swear to you, if this movie wins Best Picture, I am worried. Is this the Academy? Is that the same people? Is it just the Academy? Do they do music and movies? I don't know. But I'm worried about the Academy. And I'm worried about film, the future of film. Because if the bar, if you want to win an Oscar, then the bar is set at puking, pooping everywhere, then I don't want to see any movie next year because people are going to be like, ooh, the grosser the better. Absolutely not. Don't watch that movie. I'm begging you, save yourself. Don't watch it. Oh my God. Maybe, you know what? If you have like a bitchin' hangover and you feel like, oh God, I wish I could just throw up and make myself feel better, turn on Triangle of Sadness. It'll do the trick. Fast forward to about an hour in. You're welcome. Ugh. Somebody asked about organization, what works for you and what doesn't, life, house, clothes, time, whatever. So organization, I kind of flip-flop back and forth on this, and in some aspects of my life, I'm super organized, and in some aspects, it's like a hot mess. And then it also kind of like flows. Right now, I am like in a season of trying to stay super organized with work, and that's something that I like had to learn. Obviously, like I used to have a business partner that I split the work with, and then whenever I went to me just doing the work, it was like a lot harder than I thought, and I was kind of like in denial for a little bit. It's no secret I was like petty about all of that. And so I think I was like for a couple weeks like, man, like I really just want to like be perfect and like I don't need anybody's help. I got this. And eventually I got this, but I had to really take a look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, Lauren, like you just took on 2 people's work for yourself. How can we reorganize this? And so I have lately been hella organized. And I've always been a pen and paper girl, but like literally in the last couple months, I have had to get like the desk calendar where I write out everything. And then I have a separate desk calendar that's broken down by day. And so it's like a strip for Monday, a strip for Tuesday, a strip for Wednesday. And y'all, this is psychotic, but I make an hourly schedule. It's crazy, but I literally write on there, I bullet point, and I do 7:30 a.m. Orange Theory, 8:30 a.m. home. I don't know if that's like a forever solution, but like in the last couple months, I've really had to get organized, and that has really helped. So I cannot hype up the, like psychotic hourly planning enough and the paper enough. But yeah, I don't know. And as far as like life goes, I really, really, really love to take Saturdays and spend most of the day Saturday just like resetting. I know people do that on Sunday, but I find that on Sundays, number one, I make sure like I have to do work on Sundays because our episodes come out on Monday. So on Sundays, I actually am doing quite a bit of work during the day, and the little bit of downtime that I do have on a Sunday, I like to do absolutely nothing. Like I'm talking about I don't want to do shit. I want to lay on the couch and I want to like be laying down while eating. Like I'm being lazy for like 2 hours on Sunday. So instead of like resetting my life on Sundays, I do it on Saturdays. So Saturday morning, I like to get up and I go to the gym at 7:30. Even though it's Saturday, it really feels good, y'all. You should try it. Saturdays at 7:30, I go to the gym. I come home. Usually on Saturdays, I do treat myself to a little coffee after the gym. So I go through the Starbucks. I go to Coffee Deli. I go to whatever. Then I come home and I shower, and I like don't do my glam yet. I just shower and do my skincare routine. I'll dry my hair, and then I put on like joggers and a little like Brahmi top, and I get busy around the house. If there's any dishes to do, I do them. I vacuum the floor. I make sure, I don't know, everything, like all the laundry's put away, all the clutter is picked up. I just reset the house on Saturday. And so then Saturday night, I feel like I can go out and have fun and not be dreading housework the next day. I love it. I don't know. For me, I feel like I've adopted that in the last probably year. I've turned Saturday mornings into like my reset at home where I put my phone in the living room. I hook up the Bluetooth speaker. I either put on a podcast or I put on music, and I just like grind at home for like 3 hours. And I don't know. It makes me feel really good because I'm that person, like, if I'm out and about, like, if I don't know, like, go get drinks or go downtown or whatever, and I know, like, in the back of my mind, oh my God, like, tomorrow morning I've got to get up and I've got to clean the house because I put it off today. I am going to be, like, thinking about it all night. Like, I don't know if y'all are like that, but I cannot shake it. And even if I'm not actively thinking about it, like, I feel it. It's like in the back of my neck, like I can feel that I need to clean my bathroom on Sunday, and it's like dread. So I would rather just dedicate time on Saturday to doing that. And so then the rest of the weekend, I'm good. I love it. Somebody just wrote in and said, I think you should interview me. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to be a guest, send me why. Say, I think you should interview me, and then send me some talking points, and then we can go from there. For real. The last thing I wanted to talk about, somebody did write in and talk about how hard it is to make good girlfriends as an adult. Y'all. I feel like I could have like a whole friendship podcast. I've got a boyfriend, I've got a lot of just friends, but like a close knit group of girlfriends, I don't know if I'll find it again. I really don't. I mean, I don't. I had it in college, and that was even more than just girlfriends. Like, I mean, we had a group, it's like 8 to 10 of us, and of course you're like closer with some people. I talk about Brooks and Annalise all the time, but we've got a crew, and once a year, twice a year, I see them, we all get back together, and it's like we never left. And I don't know if I will find that ever again. And I don't say that in like a depressing way. I don't, but I think that it's just, it gets harder. Like, you become an adult and like you've got your own life, versus whenever you're in college or you're in high school or I don't know, whatever it may be. You just have like more time and less responsibilities, and you're just, I don't know, like I found like in college, especially in between classes, I had an hour break. Now, if I have an hour break, I'm using that. If I have an hour break, I'm gonna do the dishes, or I'm gonna, try to find a new social media client or whatever, because I feel like I want to do that and I have to do that now. Versus in college, if I had an hour, I could go sit and talk to my friends for an hour. And I just think like real adult life doesn't have that time to connect with people quite as often as it did whenever we were a little bit younger. And that's a bummer, but I think that's life. But, I don't want to like be like, don, like never have friends. Oh, that made me laugh. I want to like have some tips and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I think that I will say this, like, I do have some people that I see like monthly. And I love that. Of course, I wish that I could see them more, but for my schedule, their schedule, whatever the reason, we can only see each other monthly. And we set that up like 2 weeks in advance. And so, if there's somebody that you want to be friends with, try to set it up a couple weeks in advance. I've had people I reach out to before. I'm like, let me know if you ever want to hang out. And I never heard anything. And my feelings are not hurt about that. Like, you're not going to connect with every single person. And so like, if you are feeling like down and out and like butthurt that, you reached out to somebody, it's like dating. They're not your person. Like I really do try to view friendship as that. Like, I would never, ever let one of my girlfriends, triple, quadruple, 5 times text a boy they had a crush on, begging him to hang out. And friendships are the same way, so if you're the one doing the initiating and, you're like, I don't know why this person doesn't want to be my friend, I think that you should move on. I really do. I think there's probably other people who would say, no, like, you want to be friends with somebody, like, go for it. I agree, go for it to an extent, but, don't spin out your wheels on somebody who doesn't want to hang out with you. Be understanding of that, and think of a time whenever, somebody asked you to get coffee or go out or whatever, and you just weren't feeling it for whatever reason. It's not that they're a bad person, probably. You probably are just like, maybe you're in a season of your life where you don't really want to make new friends, Maybe you're very content right now, and that's not a personal attack against them. So I don't know. I just think that it can be tough to be the one wanting new friends. It can be tough to be the one that doesn't want new friends. But I would just advise, take friendships lightly. You can't get deep with someone overnight, and it might be a year in between seeing somebody. You might see somebody like at a networking event a couple times a year, and then you finally connect one-on-one for like a real friend date. So just be patient with it. Hang in there. And if you are in a season where you feel like, God, like I need some more friends, like go out there and get it. And if people, if they don't respond, they're not the one for you. It's exactly like dating. If they don't text you back, that's on them. They're missing out. And yeah, just, shake that off and you will find people. And I've also met friends. This is kind of a specific situation, but I think it can apply to a lot of things. Whenever I was leaving my first job here, I was just like craving, like, I don't know, like I felt like I was in like a creative rut. And so I just like wanted a hobby. And so I sent like a couple like boutiques around town. I was like, hey, like if you ever want to like do a photo shoot, like, I can like help with styling. I can model. I can just hold the camera. Like I just reached out to some random folks and like a couple people said yes. And so then you get there and like I met like-minded people, like I remember I did this photo shoot with Mamie Ruth. I sent that's a store here in Savannah. I sent them a message and I just said like, hey, I'm just like looking for something creative. So like, if you ever just want like a second opinion at a photo shoot, I'd love to come by. I got there. I thought I was just going to be standing around and the girls were like, your hair looks great today. Why don't you hop in? And so then I was modeling and then I like became friends with the two girls I was modeling with. I became friends with the photographer. I became friends with the owner of the store who was there with like helping style. And so I think that, if you are craving new friends, putting yourself in a situation where you can meet people who are similar to you is a good place to start. I think it's hard. If y'all just heard me swallow, I'm so sorry. That was kind of close to my mouth. Ew. I think it's hard to meet and build like really actual potentially good friendships if you just say like, well, I'm going to go downtown tonight. I'm going to go bar hopping. You're going to have a ton of fun. You're going to meet a ton of people, but I don't know if those people will turn out to be good friends. And again, it's like parallel to dating. Like you can go bar hopping. You might look out and meet somebody who's a good match with you, but more than likely, I think you're probably just going to meet a bunch of random folks that you might see out again. Versus, I don't know, if you've got a dog and you're passionate about dogs, like find a dog-centric event. So I don't know. I think that if you want to put yourself out there, like go for it. But I would be a little bit more strategic, I guess is what I'm like trying to wrap that up and say. Like be patient. Treat it like dating. Treat it like dating. Be patient with people and don't get your feelings hurt if they don't text you back. And don't be thirsting out over people. No. When the timing is right, you will connect with the people that you need to connect with. I truly believe that. And so that's why like I don't really feel bothered by the fact that I don't have a huge group of friends right here, right now. Because I know that they will come, it like kind of flows like everything else in life. But yeah, y'all got this. I don't know. Calvin just walked in and that was gorgeous timing, Calvin. Because I just went through all the questions and like I just like got a little deep about friendship. What's been on your mind lately? Calvin said, meow, 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 meow. He literally shrugged and was like, meow, meow, meow. I don't know. How long have I been recording? Do you know? It feels like I want to wrap it up. Well, about 50. That's gorgeous. Look at me. I'm getting better. Y'all, solo episodes. Yeah, well, here, I'll leave y'all with another little behind the scenes look. Solo episodes are tough because you think like, oh my God, like, I love to talk. Let me just get on here and talk for an hour. Of course, I do love to talk. And I talk to myself all the time. I talk to myself in the shower. I talk to myself whenever I do my makeup. I talk to myself whenever I'm talking to Mr. Cam. I love to talk to myself, okay? But getting on here in front of the camera and trying to tell y'all something compelling is hard work. After this, I'm not being dramatic. I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat lunch and I'm going to have to lay down for about 15 minutes and recoup and not say a word. And then I'm going to be able to continue my day. Phew, podcasting is so hard. Anyways, I got a burst of energy when Calvin walked in. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up for you guys. But y'all, please remember to share the episodes. If there's been an episode that like touched you in any way, please just throw it on your Instagram story. Tag at Chicks and Dip Pod. Tag me personally at Lauren_Wolverton. Every time somebody new posts about this show, like I need to find a way to keep track of it, but every time one of you posts about the show, more people find it. Like, seriously, whether they find it on Instagram and follow the page or whether you send them the link and they listen. Like, I can see all the metrics, and every time you guys share, it helps me out so much. So if you want to support this show and you want to support me, please share this episode. That means the world to me. Other housekeeping things. I just told y'all where to follow us. Y'all, follow the TikTok, okay? I have been trying to get good at TikTok, and we have been rolling. We have been doing good. I've been trying to clip enough video from the episodes where, like, every day, I can, like, consistently share a video. I've been trying my hardest, y'all. So follow the TikTok, at Chicks and Dip Pod. Mine is just at Lauren Wolverton, no underscore on TikTok. With that, I will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.